Hey you guys, it's Toya and thank you for watching ToyaJTV. This is week 12 of the How to Stretch Your Relaxer series. We have made it to 3 months and I am going to show you this week how to get your hair still bone straight even after 3 months. Okay, you can do it. Let's jump right in. So of course I'm starting by shampooing my hair, and I normally get my hair like soaking wet before I add any shampoo. And my hair porosity is normal, so it doesn't take it takes an average amount of time for it to get soaking wet. And I always start with the Jones Extreme Clean Clarifying Shampoo. This is fantastic because it is sulfate free and paraben free, so it does not strip your hair, but it gets all of the dirt, oil, and any residue on here. This is step one when you want to have flowing, bouncy hair. And then after that, I'll follow up with the Extreme Moisturizing Shampoo. This is the first step in adding that moisture back inside of the hair. And then you just give your hair a good shampoo right after that. And then this week, I am doing a deep conditioning treatment with the Intense Moisturizing Treatment. All of these products are in the original collection that I'm using this week because I am focusing on moisture. Look how creamy that is, okay? And since I'm going to be doing a deep conditioner, I'm going to be sitting under the dryer for a little while. So when you put on your deep conditioner, you want to make sure you start at the ends and work your way up. A lot of people start at the root and just pack it on the root and then just kind of try to comb it down to the ends. But you want to start at your ends and work your way up. That way, you can make sure your ends are properly moisturized and that you don't have any unnecessary damage or breakage. I'm using the Jones processing cap. It's dual-sided, so I'm going to be using the processing side to sit up under the dryer, and I'm sitting up under there for about 30 to 45 minutes. After my hair has been under the dryer and rinsed out, I'm at this point here where I've already rinsed it out. So it is so soft right now. Okay. It is like, I feel the softness in it. I'm going to be using the Jones leave-in conditioner to add an even extra layer of moisture. And when you have relaxed hair or any type of chemically treated hair, you want to make sure you keep that moisture in so your hair is not prone to dryness, and which could lead to breakage. So that's why I like to add a leave-in conditioner after each and every shampoo session. So now I'm going to be using the Whipped Honey Foam Wrap. This is going to lay my edges and roots down. You know, it's been 3 months. So I have approximately 1.5 inches of new growth at this point. Okay, so this Whipped Honey Foam Wrap, this is my secret weapon to laying that new growth down. Look how it's already laying the hair down, and I only put it literally right there on my root and edges. I sat up under the dryer again, and this is how straight it got with me just sitting up under the dryer and letting it dry that way. So at this point, I want to show you what my new growth looks like, okay? This is my new growth. Like I said, you see that little wave at the top? That's about 1.5 inches of new growth, okay? There are very few stylists that will only relax just that part. Most stylists come down at least 2 to 2.5 inches when they're processing hair. That's why I always advocate for you guys to stretch your relaxer out, because if you're getting that much hair processed, grow that much hair out so that you don't have any overlapping and your hair doesn't get damaged. That's why a lot of people's hair will look thin towards the ends, because they keep, sometimes without even knowing it, they keep over processing their hair. So now I'm just going to run the blow dryer through it just a little bit. I love this blow dryer because it has the comb attachment. That's what I like to use. I prefer this one. I'll link this one in the description. It has 2 sides. One side is going to control the temperature, and the other side is going to control how fast the air comes out. So I like to put it on high air, but low heat. That's what I like my setting on my blow dryer. So it's low heat, but it comes out fast, okay? And I'm just going to run the blow dryer through it very quickly. I never use high heat when I'm blow drying. That's why I use the Silky Serum Oil, which is the heat protectant. I use it after I blow dry because I'm blow drying it on such low heat. It really doesn't need to have a heat protectant on it while I'm doing it. I like to put the heat protectant on right before I actually flat iron, because that's where most of the heat is going to be coming from. And when you put the heat protectant on, all you need is a little bit of silky serum oil. That's why I only put it in a 2-ounce bottle, because a little really does go a long way. All you need is a drop at a time, okay? You should not see the product on your hair or feel the product on your hair. If you do, it's going to be heavy. Another tip I want to give is, even though we prep the edges with the whipped honey foam wrap, if you just go over the new growth just a little bit with the teeny tiny flat iron, that's going to help you for those edges to look like freshly relaxed. Okay, so basically the whipped honey foam wrap is basically prepping your hair and getting it straight, but it's almost like a blow dry straight. Then once you go in with the flat iron and just add a little bit of heat to the edges, that's what takes it over the top and makes it look like you have a fresh relaxer, even though it's been 12 weeks since the relaxer. Okay, these are all of my pro tips that I'm giving y'all. Okay, so don't tell anybody else my tips. All right, so after and also that way you won't have to burn yourself when you're using the big flat iron. So I take the little flat iron all around my edges, and you see how straight my edges already look. That's what we want. Okay, and then when I go in, I kind of do the same thing. I put the small flat iron just on the root, and I go over that part 2 times, just over that new growth, and then I come down for the rest of the shaft just 1 time, because that's the relaxed hair that really doesn't need that much heat. But I give a little bit of extra heat to my roots where all that new growth is, that like 1.5 inch of new growth that I showed you guys. So, and you have to take tiny section. See how thin that section of hair is? Because you want the hair to be even, you want that heat to be evenly distributed throughout the hair. Because if you take too large of a section, the middle part of the hair, it won't get heat, and then you'll wonder why as soon as you step outside, your hair literally puffs right back up. So if you take your time and do very small sections, you will definitely see a difference. You can run your fingers through it and you won't even feel the new growth. It'll all be, it's almost like you gave your new growth a silk press, pretty much. So I'm just going to finish up going through the hair, and I just want you to see that I'm going through this process all over the entire head. And I take vertical sections, and then I start on the left side of my head and come all the way around to the right. That's just my preference. You can do it however you like. I just am recommending that you make sure you are taking small sections. And you see I'm getting happy because I can already see the body. I can see the picture coming together. Okay, it's coming together quite nicely. And I also keep feeling it because, number one, I'm feeling how straight my roots feel, and number two, I'm feeling how soft my hair feels. When you layer these products correctly, the By L. Jones products, it literally feels like you left the salon. These are salon quality products that you can use at home. That's the benefit of having hair products created by a professional hairstylist. We know what to expect, and we know what the clients expect when they leave there. And so basically I took all of that expectation and put it in a bottle for you to use at home. So you can use these in between your salon visits. Some of my customers take these products to their stylist, but it's just whatever you want to do, you know. But again, you will get those salon quality results just from using it at home. So I'm being very careful when I get around to the edges, because the edges, normally the hair around the edges is a little bit thinner. So you just want to be very careful with that heat. That's why that heat protectant is definitely so important, because you don't want your you want your edges, you want to keep all of your edges, basically. You don't want your edges to be very thin. You don't want them to be scarce, and you definitely don't want that hair falling out around the edges. Now, when I get to the very top, because I want it straight, but I want that top part to have a little razzle dazzle. And this is how I get that razzle dazzle. So instead of, normally I would curl all of my hair and wrap it, but I like doing this method too, where I basically make the rest of it straight, and then I curl just the front part, and then once I wrap it, it'll have that extra body and bounce to that little front part. So that's why right here you see me just curling that front part where I want to have the extra little oomph. And now I am spraying the Miracle Potion #9 on it. This is in the scent called Stunner. It's one of the fan favorites. And it helps with shine. It adds extra layer of shine. It makes the hair smell so good. And it also helps with frizz. Look at my hair, y'all. Look at those roots. You cannot tell when was my last relaxer. And I'm putting the Satin Moisture Cream on it again because anytime you have a chemical in your hair, what is the magic word? Moisture. That is the magic word. So I'm only putting this pretty much, I want to concentrate it on the ends because the ends of the hair tend to dry out the quickest and they tend to start breaking, which is what can lead to split ends, and you'll have to trim your hair very often. With the Satin Moisture Cream, you really won't have to do that. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap it just because I want that front part to kind of fall a little bit and give me the extra little razzle dazzle that I want. And then you'll get to see me unwrap it. So when I wrap it, I use the By L. Jones satin wrap cap. And then I put a satin scarf on top of that. And this is the next day. So I'm basically unwrapping it in the same direction that I wrapped it in. Okay. I'm unwrapping it in the same direction that I wrapped it in. This will prevent any of that hair on the opposite side from sticking out. And the reason why you kind of see a little something on the left side is because I curled it. Remember, I curled it tight on that side. So you should see a little something. It shouldn't be just bone straight. But you see right here on the side that I'm combing now, it's bone straight. But you see how you can like see my layers and that definition right there? Just a little bit, a little razzle dazzle. That's exactly what I was wanting. Okay. It came out perfectly. Perfectly. This is exactly what I was wanting. Now, the only thing that I really don't like about my hair right now is that it is growing out, and I kind of want to get that back part cut a little bit more because I don't want my bob to grow out. I want it to stay short. I probably will leave my sides a little bit longer, but I do want to get that back cut back up because I can even tell by looking at that side angle that it's trying to grow out. And I don't want the back to be longer than the sides. But I like a deep side part so I can have that heavy bang. And look at that body. Look at it. I just love Shampoo Day. I really do. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you guys next week. Talk to y'all later. Bye-bye.